Good morning. Hi, I'm Lori Meyer, real estate broker here in Ventura. Thank you for coming to our show today. And we are live here from our amazing new office at 310 South Wells Road in Ventura. And if you need a point of attraction, if you know the Cafe 126, we are right across the parking lot from the famous Cafe 126. And hello to everybody over there. Thank you for supporting us. And of course, we support you with great homemade food that we get to enjoy all the time. So welcome to our show. Today is Friday, January 20th. And it is so beautiful outside, but I got to give you a shout out today because today is the day before my youngest daughter's birthday. She's turning 25 tomorrow. It's such a great uh, uh, point in her life, and she's all the way across the country in Florida. She's at a conference. So, hi, Amanda. We love you. We miss you, and thanks for everything that you do. So, yes, so it's beautiful here in Ventura. It's clear. The air is crisp. It's really a little bit cold. Hey, Tom, thanks for coming on today, buddy. I don't want to talk too much with Tom on here about how beautiful it is here in Ventura because he's in Chicago and he's probably freezing his butt off. And he reminds me of that regularly. So anyways, I miss you. I love you, buddy. So we are here. It is a little bit chilly. Okay, well, not compared to Chicago, but it is a little chilly here. And um, in connection with that, right now we are doing a collection of jackets and coats, and we are doing it for keeping Ventura warm. We have a lot of people out there that are trying to keep warm. We have some homeless people, and also we're collecting ponchos so that when it rains, people can stay covered that don't have coverage. So please let us know. If you go to my bio in my profile, you will find that you can contact us. We will come and pick up the coats and jackets and everything from your location. I have a couple of different title reps that are out there helping us collect, but we're getting really great collection of jackets and coats. So this is with Project Understanding here in Ventura, and they are coming here regularly to pick up the donations so that we're getting them out to people and keeping them warm as we speak. So thank you so much to Project Understanding and everything that you do in our city to help people that are less fortunate or that are in need. They have an amazing food pantry. Right now, they're servicing over 4,000 families a month. Hi, Nicole. Hi, Ryan. Thanks for coming on to the show today. We're just talking about our jacket coat collection that we're doing right now at Lifestyle Listings. So maybe you're getting one of these in the mail from us, or maybe you're seeing this on our social media, one of our team members, but please donate. We're even like collecting little cute hats. Hello. Okay, won't mess up my hair for that. So anyways, hats, maybe gloves, anything to help keep Ventura warm. And please also refer to our newsletter. It went out yesterday. It's in my bio. You can get a lot of great information about what's going on here at Lifestyle Listings. All of our coming soon listings that we have coming onto the market. Specifically this week, we have a really, really great little property. You're going to love this price. It's 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,400 square feet. It is a single family residence attached. Some people might look at it and think, oh, that's a condo. It's not a condo because it's attached. It actually, you own the property underneath the unit. And so that makes it what's called a PUD, planned unit development. And that means that you can use FHA financing for that unit, VA financing, and of course, conventional. And of course, we'll take cash. So that unit is going to be completely remodeled, upgraded, and gorgeous on the market this Thursday for a price of $499. Now, I know my realtors in Chicago are going, $499? My gosh, you can buy a mansion in Chicago for $499. Well, this is SoCal. So that's a great price. Hey, Carlos, nice to have you on the show today, and nice to see you here. So we are doing, so that property is coming on this Thursday, and uh, also you can connect to our lifestyle chat. Our team members, the girls, are doing a lifestyle chat live on Tuesdays at 1 o'clock p.m. And you can come onto our Instagram and you can see that live chat. And then we also have on February 1st, we have our Ladies Luncheon. And it's another organization that I started almost 14 years ago. We're getting ready to celebrate 14 years in June, which is incredible. But our February event is our Valentine's Day event, and we have an amazing sponsor coming to Ladies Luncheon. Her name is Roy Lynn Downs from Tristology. If you do a search for Tristology, that's Trystology, you can learn some more about Tristology and all the fun lingerie and more. I'll just leave it there. So that's going to be our event in February. Hi, Daniel Rubin. Nice to see you. Thanks for coming onto the show today. We have a really great show. Oh, you know what? Let me talk a little bit more about coming soon. So we have that unit coming up in Oxnard for $499. The 2 bedroom, 2 bath. It's going to be absolutely gorgeous. Our phone's already ringing off the hook on that one. And then we also have another one, which is really interesting in an area not far from Ventura called Canoga Park. And this property is going to be really, really beautiful. 3 bedroom, 3 bath. It's 1 story ranch home. And I think the square footage is about 1,600. It is also being completely remodeled. That's a little bit more towards Los Angeles. It is LA County. It's more south on the 101 and just a little bit before you hit the 405 area. So beautiful home with RV parking. Beautiful. So that is going to be coming onto the market in a couple of weeks, and I think we're going to be priced at $749. So aside from the other properties that we're working with our amazing buyers with right now, let me just mention a little bit about what's happening with the market, because everybody is wondering what is going on with the market here in not only in Ventura, but across the country. And we hear lots of different things, but let me tell you what we're hearing a lot of right now. Recently, the studies came in that recession numbers are down. And when recession numbers are down, interest rates seem to follow throughout the history. So we're starting to see a calming down of interest rates. And as we move into the spring, we're going to see a little bit more of that. Prices have kind of stabilized. They've come down a little bit. But so we're really expecting that interest rates are going to come down a little bit, and that's going to really, really help the economy and bringing more buyers into the market. But buyers are also getting comfortable, with the interest rates right now. And we here at Lifestyle Listings are working with programs to help our buyers get into escrow right now with the interest rates, and we are doing buy downs. So if you want to learn more information about that, please contact us. But we are buying down our clients' rates through their escrows and making it more comfortable for them. That way they can do, a refi as rates come down. What would you rather have, a higher interest rate or a higher sales price? The prices have come down, so you would rather have a lower sales price, and we can get that for you right now. You can always change the interest rate. We say, love the home, date the rate. So that's kind of our philosophy here at Lifestyle Listings. Hey, Linda, thanks for coming on. Linda Hall is with Guild Mortgage, and she's one of our prime lenders that is helping us do the buy down of the rates. So I am so excited for our show today because we are going to be talking about a conversation that a lot of people aren't aware of or need education, or, we can really help you with investment properties. This conversation is going to be about 1031 exchange. Today we have my very dear friend, who has many, many years of experience. Let her come on and explain in layman's terms what exactly a 1031 exchange is. Please welcome to the show Dino Champagne with API. Hi, Dino. Are you there?
I'm here. I'm here. This is, I feel great on the, with a name like Dino Champagne, but I'm on the small screen, not the big screen, there's a, I'm trying to think if I've ever done an Instagram live, and I'm going to say, no, this is a first.
Well, you're doing great. And I'm so grateful for Myron, right? He's so great, my marketing director. And shout out to Myron because we couldn't do much without him. So thanks, Myron. But yeah, so let's get into it. Thank you so much for being here. And I just real quickly, I want to give a shout out because I have some really dear associates who Jack and Bonnie Stevenson.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh. And when they found out that you're going to be on the show today, they were just so ecstatic because I think you have, let's just say, saved their butt a few times at some of their clients, and they're very, very fond of you and have nothing but great things to say about doing the exchange process with you. So shout out to Jack and Bonnie Stevenson with Realty One Group. So let's get into it. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Fire away.
Okay. So let's just start out with the basic question. What is a 1031 exchange?
Okay, so a 1031, people go, where do you get that number from? Well, that's the actual IRC section code number. So it is 1031. So that's why we're called 1031s. What it allows is an investor or somebody that's operating their property as their business, okay, to, when they sell that property, to defer the tax, to go off and buy additional investment property or property that they're going to operate their business. So the taxpayer is not spending the money to the IRS or in California's case, the California Franchise Tax Board. So those dollars that you might typically have to pay the tax man, you're having the opportunity to defer that, use those dollars to buy more property. So when you think of a 1031, it's an opportunity, and we'll say focus on investors right now, for investors to, buy a new property or properties. So if they want to, move geographically or they want to move product type, they're able to do this through this process and not spend money in taxes so they can buy more. So that's the basics of a 1031.
Yeah, so I'm just going to also add and just reiterate, we are not talking about properties that you are occupying or living in yourself. These are properties that you're using, that you are renting out, or commercial properties. So I just want to make that really specifically. Hi, Dina Rogers. Thanks so much for joining the show. And thank you, Davis Hawthorne Group, for coming on today. We're here talking to Dino Champagne with API. We're talking about this great conversation about 1031 exchange. It's really, really important because, you save people a lot of money by not having to turn over their net gains, to the IRS or to California, right?
Correct. Yeah, that's one of the beauties. I mean, when you think about it, it's sort of like an interest-free loan, if you will, from the government. So yeah, it's a very powerful vehicle for people that want to grow their portfolios or want to do some sort of estate planning. So people actually kind of look at it from that perspective as well.
Because let's be honest. Let's say they don't do the defer. Let's say they don't do the exchange and they take the hit. Give us an example. What's that magic number that they're going to get hit with?
Well, it depends on where they are, but as a good example, so if somebody sells, and it's not uncommon, especially up in the the Ventura area, for people that they've owned their property for a long period of time, their gain may be very substantial. Mm-hmm. So just say if somebody's gain, which is calculated based on your sale price minus your net adjusted basis, I'm not going to get into the weeds too much.
Yeah.
All right, but let's just say in this conversation the gain is around $700,000, which is not uncommon. Well, the tax liability on something like that could be north of $250,000. So when you think about it, if you could go off and buy new property and put $250,000 down with 25% down, how much money can you spend, right? I mean, that's $1 million worth of property. that you can acquire.
Right.
So when you think of the 1031, that's sort of the beauty of it. You're not giving that money. That's more money now that you can utilize to go buy more investment property.
Right. So we're not going to quote percentages exactly, but I'll just go ahead and throw out that, it averages around, 25 to 30%, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're looking at if somebody's, because people always ask me how much I'm going to pay in taxes. I said, well, that depends. So just to hit on a few things, there's about 4 different taxes that the taxpayer can be subject to. The recapture tax, 25%. Capital gain tax ranges anywhere from 15 to 20%, depending on income. And then there's the net investment income tax at 3.8%. And then there's California, 9.3 to as high as 13.3. So if somebody wants something ballparked, I'll say anywhere, figure about 30 to 35%.
That's a big number. That's a really big number. So let's talk about what are the requirements for the full tax deferred in 1031 exchange.
Okay, excellent. Because, while the IRS give it the opportunity to defer the tax, there's going to be some rules and guidelines that you have to comply with. Right. And one of the important things about a 1031 is that when you're doing a 1031, to defer the gain, you have to buy property that's equal to or greater than the sale price minus the closing costs, such as commissions, title, escrow, transfer tax, the accommodator fees. You have to spend all of the cash coming out of the sale, and you have to replace any loans that might have been paid off. So sometimes people are under the impression that all I have to do is reinvest the gain. That's incorrect. Or I just have to reinvest the cash coming out of the sale. That's incorrect, unless you have no debt on the sale. Okay, so you have to buy equal to or greater than. So when you're thinking about a 1031, view it as a continuation of ownership in investment property, albeit in a different location with a different property.
Got it. So that was really important point there about the loan. And even though through the sale of your property, you will pay off that loan, there needs to be a new loan that is acquired for the 1031 exchange property, correct?
Yes. Yeah, you have to replace the debt. So let me just qualify that a little bit further. Most people are going to replace the debt by getting a new loan. But there are some people that may not want to get a new loan, and they can replace the debt by bringing in cash from outside of the sale. I generally see that happen when people have very small loans. Okay, I think you mentioned Linda's your lender on here. Okay, most people won't touch a loan under $100,000. So so if somebody has like a $50,000 or $60,000 loan on a property, they may be bringing in additional cash, so they don't, because they don't want to buy larger value property. So just to be clear, you have to replace the debt. The debt can be replaced by either getting new financing or bringing in funds from outside of the exchange.
All right, that's really good information. That's really good information for me to know, especially I'm getting ready to do, as I spoke to you the other day, this really big 1031 exchange with this client selling this commercial property in Los Angeles, $3.4 million, and we are exchanging that. And by the way, they don't close until February 10th. So it hasn't closed yet. You and I talked about that. But anyways, so what are the rules in delayed exchange, and how do you properly identify the replacement? Because there's some dates, numbers of dates rules that we have to follow.
Definitely. Okay, so when you're doing a 1031, regrettably, you don't have forever to find the property and close on it. So the government gives you a specific time frame. The time frame begins when the sale closes, not when you list it, not when you get an escrow, but when the sale officially closes. So that's the date that starts it. So the taxpayer has 45 calendar days from the date the sale closes to identify any property or properties they would like to purchase as a part of the exchange. And then they have an additional 135 days to complete the exchange. So the exchange period from beginning to end is no more than 180 calendar days. Now I'm going to give you a little caveat for right now, because recently the IRS has granted extensions for a slew of counties in California because of all the rains and everything.
Oh,
So we have some people that may be affected by it. So you have to be affected by it. That may get some extensions to these timeframes. So when these instances come up, we notify the clients that here's the IRS has granted these extensions. Go talk to your tax person to see if you can qualify for these extensions. So, but the only time there's any extensions is when there has been a presidentially declared disaster, which we've just experienced here in California with quite a few counties.
So they give you an extension on the days to identify, or they give you an extension on the days to close.
Could be both.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's too complicated to even get into. It's if yes, then here. If no, then here. Then maybe here, but not necessarily here. Could be over there, but really not sure. So that's why we send them to their tax advisor, because there's different sections that are triggered.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I love that you brought that up about the tax advisor, because it's, that person is very much a part of this team in this process. And I know that and I'll just say, me personally, I do not give tax advice. I always refer to the professional, and I always make sure that we have that person on our team. Hi, Dominique and DiMartino. Thank you so much for coming on the show today. We're talking about 31.
Dominique DiMartino is my daughter.
Oh, that's funny. Hi, daughter. She's like, hi, Mom. Feel free to say hi to anybody you want. So
yes, I'm working today.
Okay, so one of the questions I have that here is who is the tax owner selling the property?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's, it's really interesting, because you as a real estate professional, you're pulling up the prelims, right, or getting profiles, and you're going to be looking at the title vesting, and you think, okay, the tax owner to this property may be Jane Smith, but you don't realize that, and John Smith, but you don't realize that maybe Jane and John Smith created the J&S LLC, where it's now actually a partnership, but they never bothered to update the title information. So when somebody is considering selling their investment property, they should, when they talk to you about, listing and everything, and you're going to show them obviously the profile and how it's being vested. It's important, I believe, that they go and talk to their tax advisor, okay, so that they can because how are they reporting it on their tax return? And it may not be congruent. And I have to tell you, there's a lot of times where that happens. And then when we, as the qualified intermediary, when we get involved, what end up happening in that situation, I'm digging down and going, okay, well, how are you reporting this property in your tax return? And then they go, oh, well, we created this LLC, we're getting K1s, and then okay, time out, let's start. Because your contract is showing their individual names, the title is showing their individual names, and when you're doing a 1031, it's a tax transaction, so we follow the taxpayer. So now you're scrambling to get all these things corrected. And sometimes we're seeing this happen about 3 days before the closing. So it can get a little fun. So yeah, so word to the wise, when you're going to decide to sell an investment piece of property and you're reaching out to Lorianne, check your title, see what's showing on there, talk to your tax. And then at that point, just make sure that they are, that everything is matching as it needs to match. Okay.
So the new contract of the purchase of the replacement property, does the name on that escrow need to be in the name of the taxpayer?
Well, okay, so when you're selling, and sometimes people go, well, I sold as Jane and John Smith, I must buy as Jane and John Smith. Or I sold out of my revocable living trust, therefore I must buy out of my revocable living trust, buy in my revocable living trust. That's not necessarily accurate. So sometimes your vesting, okay, may be different, but the taxpayer remains the same. So for example, if you have a revocable living trust, and maybe you go and you buy the replacement property, but the lender says, no, we're not going to lend to you in your trust. So people think, oh, I've blown my exchange because they're not allowing me to buy in my trust. Well, if the trust is a revocable living trust, the taxpayer is the trustee of the trust. So in other words, if it's me and I sell in my trust and I have to buy in my name, nothing has changed. I'm still the taxpayer.
Right.
Same could be with an LLC. So if I created an LLC for liability protection and I am the sole member of that LLC, everything reports under my personal social security number on my Schedule E.
Mhm.
I can buy in my individual name, or I can buy in my revocable living trust.
Okay.
Or if I'm selling as an individual, I can create an LLC to the same thing. So we're going to find out who's the taxpayer. So I like to use the term same taxpayer selling must be the same taxpayer purchasing.
Got it. That's really good information. Yeah, that's really, really good. And once again, you know, as being involved in a 1031 as a broker, it's really important for us to realize that we are on a team, you know, and we have to be, and communication is really, really important, right?
Yeah, definitely. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What, let me ask you a question. If, for example, we'll play with some numbers here.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say we have someone who's selling $1 million in a property and they need to exchange. Can they buy two properties to total the $1 million or not?
Oh, definitely. We see that all the time, you know, because it's about matching, getting the numbers to add up to what you sold for. So sometimes people, when they want to diversify, you know, maybe they're going to sell in California, maybe they want to go buy in Texas or Tennessee or somewhere else. And you have high value properties here. Maybe they want to buy 5 or 6 different properties. So yes, you can do that. But what you have to be careful of is which identification rule you're going to be using if you're buying multiple properties, and you need to make sure that you're closing on all the properties by that 180th day.
Okay. So you just said something I want to expand on just a little bit. I don't want to confuse people, but so if we have two properties, let's say each one's at 500, we need to total $1 million, and one property closes before the other one. That's okay as long as it closes within the 180-day time frame.
And you've identified both properties by the 45th day. Yes, they don't have to close simultaneously. That happens a lot.
But all that money needs to be exchanged by the 180th day.
Correct. And then sometimes people that are doing what you just described, they may have a lot of cash coming out. So depending on the loan programs or how they want to, and the returns and the cash flow that they're going to get on the properties, maybe they put more down on one property and less down on the other, because cash flow on the lesser, you know, and the larger loan may still be good. So the taxpayer gets to decide how they want to do that, you know, how they want to spend their money.
Okay. So then the exchange company will release the funds into the escrow as that property closes, and then as we'll disperse those funds into those escrows from the exchange, from,
yes,
you know, in your API. Got it. Okay. That's good. That's really good information. So what tips would you recommend to investors considering an exchange?
Okay, the first thing I would say that when you're considering selling your investment property, the first person that you really need to talk to is your accountant, okay, to determine what's the gain on the sale of that property. Because that way, that's going to dictate whether you need to or should be doing a 1031 based on your tax liability. There may be instances where you have some suspended losses that you don't need to do the exchange. So bring in your accountant. You know, they're going to be talking to you as a real estate professional, because you're going to be dealing with the marketing, and you're going to say how much it's going to sell for, and you're dealing with that side of it. But the accountant's going to deal with the accounting side. I say, get to your accountant, find out whether you need to or should be doing a 1031. At the same time, you know, talk to a qualified intermediary like me. I'm going to have a different discussion. I'm going to take you through the process of it. So find that out. You start getting an idea of, when you find out how much you're going to be selling the property for, where do you want to buy? You know, start looking at that. So first step to me is talk to the accountant, know whether you need to or should be doing a 1031. Once you get that down, then find out what the rules are for the 1031, and then now get to you for the market conditions and what you can sell it for, and what, you know, where they plan to purchase.
Yeah, because if they've owned it for whatever, let's just say 5 years, and in that 5 years they've done a ton of improvements, you know, that could eat up that gain, you know, you can deduct a lot of those improvements. Is that correct?
That's actually exactly right. Yes. So, and that would be an instance where you think you have gain, but you really don't because you put a lot of capital improvements, which is going to increase your basis in the property, which lowers your gain. So, yes.
Yeah. And we don't, once again on the show today, I really don't want to confuse people. I really want people to contact you in case they're interested in doing exchange. And by the way, if you are interested, you can contact Dino Champagne, and her contact information is in my bio today. She's incredible. I'll just reiterate that. And you know, this is really an important conversation. And you know, obviously, you need to bring in a broker, and you need to have your tax, you know, person. Hi, Selena Castillo. Nice to have you on the show today. We're talking about 1031 exchange. So let's see, what else? Oh, talk to us a little bit about API. You are the CEO. What is it? Really?
I'm not the CEO. I'm just a foot soldier.
You're a what?
Yeah. Asset preservation. We're actually a national 1031 qualified intermediary.
Okay.
We've done over 200,000 exchanges nationwide. So this is our skinny lane in the highway. I've been with the company, it's going to be 21 years now. I cover the Los Angeles, Ventura, Inland Empire area, but I do have clients all throughout the nation because I've been doing this for so long. So, but as a company, you know, we're owned by a large title company. So I'm a small cog in the wheel.
Well, you might be small, but you're mighty.
There you go. It's that dynamite line, dynamite in small packages.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Real quickly, give us your, we only have a couple more minutes left, but just like give us your best story, or not maybe your best, but one of the stories that you love to share about 1031 exchange with the client.
You know, one of it's probably not, when you say best, it's probably not one that would be considered best because of the outcome, but I'll tell you that it's very important is, I would say last week I had not one, not two, but 3 calls where people had already closed on their transaction before they set up the exchange. So my thoughts are, you know, the minute you think about listing that property, you know, you want to start getting involved into the exchange knowledge, understanding the timing and everything. It's not, because people get confused. They go, well, I'll contact you when I find what I want to buy. It doesn't work that way. So the exchange has to get set up. So, you know, so when you have those kind of stories, it's really heart-wrenching. And you go, well, can't you do anything? I said, if I could, I would, because I get paid to open up deals. I don't get paid to say no. So, you know, so that's one of the things is make sure that the exchange is actually set up. You know, to me, when you have a successful exchange, it's because you've been in communication with all the parties. You've got your tax advisor on board. You're communicating with the qualified intermediary. You're planning on what you're doing. You have your lender involved. Because sometimes people don't even talk to their lenders until they decide to start buying something. And then they haven't been in the lending space for a long time. Mm-hmm. Well, it could be very different than the last time they dealt with that. So, you know, bring in the lender that's going to be assisting you with the buy.
Yes.
You know, so just planning and communication helps for the success. You know, we always like to see when they get to the finish line and everybody's happy. So
that's a good day. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. I like to say you're going to have a new full-time, part-time job when you get into a 1031.
Yeah. Yes. I see that. I've done a couple of them, and I've been on the buying end and I've been on the selling end, and both of them are really important for communication and, you know, and especially with the exchange company.
Yeah.
Do you have any educational seminars that we can plug people into that they can learn more about 1031?
Well, I don't have that many going on right at this moment because we just got into January. But if you on our website, we actually have a whole host of little 10-15-minute talks on various topics about the 1031. So if someone wanted to go there on our YouTube channel and look for APIexchange.com, you can link into something like that if somebody's looking to get some quick information.
And I'll reiterate, 1031, we don't want to intimidate you. It's not difficult. You have good mentors, you have good, you know, good people on your team, it can go very, very smoothly. Just have to reach out to people, sooner than later. And there's a lot of benefits, and it's really a great time right now to do investment property. So we really encourage you to reach out to us and to let us help you and hold your hand through this, what could be an intimidating process, but it really can also, not be. So, hi, Bill. Thanks for coming onto the show. Really appreciate it. We're just wrapping up here talking with Dino Champagne about 1031 exchange. Is there anything else that you want to add today, Dino?
I would just say that, like you said, don't be intimidated by the process. And the words I like to use, keep your eye on the prize. And the prize is deferring the tax so you can grow your portfolio. And maybe it's, like I said, maybe it's an estate planning tool that you can pass along to your heirs. So, don't be afraid, go for it, and then just have good communication throughout the entire process.
Yay. I am so, so grateful for you, to be on the show today. Once again, in my link in my bio, you can contact Dino. Her website is there, and you can contact her from there. We also have our newsletter that is in the bio. I want to remind everybody that we are doing our winter coat drive. We are collecting coats like crazy. Thank you to everyone who has been out there. Like we're driving around. Our title reps are helping us pick up coats, and then we're getting them right out to Project Understanding and they are getting them into the hands of the local people here in Ventura to help keep Ventura warm. Please support us. We're going to be doing this all the way through February. It's cold out there, and we want to help keep everybody warm. So jackets, ponchos to help, protect people from the rain, hats, gloves, anything like that. We also have in our link, we have a home value. So if you are interested, if you're thinking right now, like, what is my home worth in this crazy market right now? There's a simple way to go onto the link in my bio and to find out what your home value is worth. That's the start. But the best thing to do after that is to give me a call, and we will come out and meet with you one-on-one and take a look at your property, because it's not always about the numbers. A lot of it is about condition, and the market is changing, but the buyers are coming out, and we've got them for sure. We are so grateful for you. Have a great Friday. Have an amazing weekend. Enjoy, everybody. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Thanks, Dino.
My pleasure. Thanks for inviting me.
Yes, thank you. Have a great day.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Wake